Welcome to the Real Estate Fight Club, a podcast for agents where you'll witness a battle of opinions about topics affecting your real estate business. Now, always in your corner, here are your hosts, Jen Mertland and Monica Weekly.
All right, this is Real Estate Fight Club, episode 131. Jeez, that's a lot of episodes.
It's not enough. Ever.
It's not enough. It's never enough. Okay. Welcome to another episode of Real Estate Fight Club. Jennifer Mertland's in the house. What's going on?
Hey, Monica. Feeling hostile today. Are you?
Oh, fantastic. I was thinking you and I would sing Kumbaya and join arms.
That's never happening.
Why can't we all just get along?
Because that's boring.
That is boring. And that is not what Real Estate Fight Club is all about.
No. I want to know, though, have you ever been in a fight? Inquiring minds want to know.
Yes, I got my face punched out when I was a freshman in high school. And we had gym class, and everyone was on these little half-court basketball. Everyone had a little 2-on-2 game going on, you know.
Okay.
There were probably 8 courts in the gym.
Okay.
And unbeknownst to me, some girl who was kind of a badass and actually she's no longer with us. She didn't. Oh. She got addicted to drugs and she died. But
oh my God.
Yeah. So
where are we going with this story?
Well, apparently I either took her basketball, or I was on the court that she was gonna be. I was totally oblivious.
Oh no.
And I remember looking at somebody and they're like, Monica, and I'm like, what? And their face was terrified. And I turn around, and as I turn around, this girl, she just clocked me in the face.
Dang, that's not a fair fight. It
wasn't fair at all. And I, honest to God, didn't do anything. I was totally unaware.
Did do something.
Clearly. And she got suspended.
Good. Get her.
Yeah, get her. And then I do feel badly because she got really... Her life took a very bad turn after high school, and she did not make it.
Seems like she overreacts a little bit.
Yeah, there was a history of bad family life and all that. But yeah, I wouldn't call that a fight. You're right. That was just a knockout.
That's not fair. You got knocked out.
That was a knockout.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm not a fighter, as you can imagine.
Lover.
Are you a fighter? Yeah. Did you fight in high school or
only
middle
a couple? Only a couple.
What would somebody have to do to get a punch in the face from Jen Mertland?
No, I never. Well, no. I never punched anybody. I've been punched.
Mm-hmm.
And
last week,
right?
Yeah.
I've never actually punched anybody.
Are you more of a shover? You'd shove somebody?
I talk shit and get in their face.
Yeah, you're a smack talker, I could see.
I did give a girl a swirly once. I think you've heard that story.
I did
tell her. I was like, I've always wanted to give somebody a swirly, and you really annoy me. Can I?
What's a swirly?
I'm upfront about things.
What's a swirly? What's a swirly? What
Stop.
is it? What?
Oh my God.
What is a swirly?
We gotta cut this. What is it? You put their head in the toilet.
Oh my God, that's awful.
It was awful, but I warned her and I said, I really want to do it. You annoy me. Let's do it. Meet me. It was meet me here at this time. And she showed up.
She showed up for her swirly?
That's my fault. So I picked her ass up. She was screaming so loud. I was like, you're going to have to be quiet.
Oh my God.
I took out her earrings. That was nice.
You care.
I care. They were diamonds. They were real pretty. I was we should take these out.
My God. You prepped her for the swirly. All right.
That was why I was holding her head over the toilet. I was like, I should take these out.
Where is she today? Should we get her on as a guest?
We should not. I have no idea.
Stay tuned next. Stay tuned next episode when we bring Swirly Girl to the table.
She was screaming. I can't believe I didn't get in trouble. She was screaming so loud. And one of the male teachers came into the bathroom and he was mortified. And he was like, what is going on? I was like, I told her I was going to do it. And I think that's why I didn't get in trouble.
I warned her. She's going to get a
mom
swirly.
Invited me to dinner like 2 days later. She thought it was hilarious. I was
What?
like, your mom is so mean.
That's awful.
It was funny.
That child has been tortured by you and the mother.
I think so, yeah.
Oh my God. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us for another episode of How to Kick People's Ass.
Being kicked in the ass.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Well, I'm glad you guys are here, and I know you're not here to hear war stories of our childhood. You are here to learn about all the different ways you can succeed in real estate, and that's what Jen and I are all about.
And I don't think you should get in a fight with each other or the buyers and sellers.
I think we're gonna fight, you and I. I'm gonna give you a swirly at the end of today's
okay.
episode.
You'd have to be able to put my head in the toilet. I wish you luck.
Wish you luck. All right, today Jen and I are gonna duke it out over this question. How or what is the proper way a seller should leave a house? Like, in other words, what condition is proper for a seller to leave the house?
This question is like annoying. I feel like if we could just make common sense common again, we wouldn't have to answer this question.
But see, you stand in a place that is all just about a house is a cluster of bricks, and it
Hopefully
represents a line item on P&L.
Right. Yes.
This is not the case for most of
the
America.
case.
It is not. It is a place they call home. It is a place they make memories.
God.
It is a place that they grow and they have challenges.
I thought we weren't giving hugs.
Today we are. It's hug day. All right, so
You go
I'm going to
first.
tell you. Yeah, let me go first on this one because I know you get aggravated when I say this, but I do say that it depends. If it is
You can't be Switzerland.
Listen, if it's a $50,000 investment property and somebody's going to come in and do the whole thing over, like, who cares what condition it's in?
Oh,
It
we
doesn't
agree.
matter.
Done. End of podcast.
On that subject.
Oh.
Now, if we're talking about a lovely $300,000, $500,000, $1 million house, and the family is moving into that house, then I believe there is a standard for that. And I would say that you would treat others the way you would like to be treated. How do you want to come into a house?
Okay.
It doesn't necessarily need to be spotless, but it needs to be cleaned. And then,
I agree. I think that, I agree. I think that you should have it professionally cleaned. And I also think that as the buyer, you shouldn't plan on moving in 2 seconds after. You should also have it professionally cleaned.
And to your own standard or whatever.
Correct.
I think if you have something other than a small nail hole in the wall, those should be patched and the paint should be redone. Like
the paint should be, what are you talking about?
Where you patch, you should roll over the patch.
No, that's
if you have something other than a small nail hole.
Yeah, but it's gonna look like you patched it.
Not if you do a good job.
No, because paint, like if you paint over it, it's going to be like that paint on the wall.
No, you can feather it in. You got to roll out the wall maybe a little bit.
That's too much.
It in.
That's
Come on.
Much. I don't agree. I disagree.
Hey there, you liking this video? Go ahead and hit subscribe so you get all the latest videos.
I think there should be, champagne in the refrigerator. And
You're lying. You're lying.
Yeah. Okay, here's my big thing. With the exception of paint that is in a good working order and represents actually colors on the walls, everything else should be out of the freaking house. Don't leave your shit that you don't know what to do with for somebody else to deal with. It irritates the living shit out of me.
I mean, I think I'm gonna have to agree with you on that because that is kind of annoying. What do you think about trash?
That depends on the trash day. Like, if you're closing on a Monday and trash day's on Wednesday, I think you can say to the buyer, hey, we've got the cans all loaded up. Could you just put them out on Wednesday morning? I think that's legitimate.
Okay. I agree.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah. I just think that there's also always more trash than sellers expect. And so there's always it feels like there's always stuff that's like at the curb too, right?
Yeah.
You have to call about or whatever. What do you think about that stuff?
If it's excessive, I think it's your duty to throw it in the back of your truck and go dump it somewhere. Yeah, I don't think you should leave that on a buyer.
Not on a buyer, but you're like, hey, I called, they're picking it up Thursday.
Yeah. If the buyer doesn't have to deal with anything, that's fine. And so what you're saying is also important. Set expectations. Don't surprise the freaking buyer.
But then they're like, no, I want you to get rid of it. And you're like,
Okay.
oh my God, I am. It's Thursday. Like, I don't own the garbage company.
Yes, but if that's important to the buyer, then get it
I'm
out.
like, fine, don't close.
Look, I had a seller once leave a shit ton of shit in the house after he
Anything good?
promised to get it out. And then he promised to get it out within 1 week. And this buyer, who was not my
Lies.
buyer, was very kind. It was like, that's fine, that's fine. And then it was a week, and then it was a month. And then this guy
Lies.
went MIA. And
Of course he did.
And I had to, because I promised. I said, no, he will. So I had to pay the 1-800-GOT-JUNK thing, and it was like $600.
It's expensive.
It was on me because I promised. And so that was
Don't promise
bullshit.
something that you're not in control of.
I promised that I would be ultimately responsible for it, because I felt
That's
like he would do
dumb.
it. Well,
Yeah, right. I think
Yeah.
I think you got to be realistic. So you go into a house and they clearly have a lot of stuff. You want to make an offer on the house, but they clearly have a lot of stuff. And you're, as the agent, you got to find out the plan. Like, where is this person going? Because they think that they have an hour worth of moving.
Right.
They've got 3 months worth of moving, right?
That's
because
right,
they
yep.
always think that it's less. Like,
Yep.
I know. Yes, I'm not even going to put this girl on blast. Anyway, you know what I mean, right?
You
Like,
got to
after
set
you-
expectations. Every personal item must be removed from the house. You got to put it in the contract.
Yes. And if they do have, you just as the buyer have to be prepared. You should not move into a house 5 seconds after you close.
Right.
It's just a bad idea.
What if you can't avoid it?
Huh?
What if you can't avoid that?
Then you
Timing-wise.
get what you get, man.
You get what you
get
get. Is that your slogan for your team synergy? You get what you get.
get.
That's what you should put.
Take it or leave it.
Take it or leave it. You get
It's
what
the
you
new
get.
Slogan.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a difficult thing because you're dealing with a lot of emotions. You're dealing with a lot of personalities. And even if people are like, yeah, it's fine, I would get it in writing, agreed to by everybody. What is fine? Fine means so many different things to so many different people.
That is true.
Do you know what the actual definition of fine is?
No.
Oh yeah. It's like an acronym.
Oh, really?
Yes. Hold
What
on.
is it? Look it up.
Well, I think it's like not the actual. Okay. Freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional.
I'm fine. I'm fine. I'm freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Fine.
Exactly. But I just don't think, okay, so when we were doing short sales, we also did some like deed in lieu of foreclosure. And so we would have to negotiate with the bank with how to leave the property. And the bank's rules were broom swept.
Oh,
Okay.
that's
Which
rough.
means all of your stuff out.
Mhm.
And you reasonably tried to clean it and you didn't like steal the plumbing or the cabinets off the wall. Okay.
Right.
So I think that's like the minimum, right? Like you got
Mhm.
all your stuff out. You've reasonably tried to clean the property. I think if it is going to be an end user moving into the property, then I think having it professionally cleaned makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that there's so many details that can get in the way. I disagree with you on the paint. I think I guess I sort of agree and sort of disagree. I think you have to look, is this person really going to paint this? or
Well, I
not?
think that's actually going back to like a very first step would be for the agents to communicate. Are your buyers getting
Yeah.
new carpet, and are they planning on painting?
Right.
Because
you
if
think
they
they
are, then
should-
I'm not going to have the carpets professionally cleaned. That's stupid.
See, I guess it depends. I think yeah, if you've got 4 dogs and you're the seller, you should have the carpets probably cleaned. If
Unless they're
gonna
ripping them
use
out.
it. Unless they're ripping them out, then it doesn't matter, right?
Then you got to ask. So I think this should be on our list of things that you should make sure you discuss with the buyer's agent before is, what are your buyers doing here, and what would they, what would be appropriate for us to do in the way of cleanliness? Like, what do they want?
I mean, I'm not sure that I want to ask that.
Yeah,
I would ask what are
I
their
don't mean-
plans on doing, and then the
I
seller
don't
would
mean-
make a decision.
Yeah, I don't mean cleanliness like, should I use Clorox? I mean, carpets professionally cleaned, holes patched and painted.
I
whatever.
disagree that some of that stuff is like an expectation. I don't know.
Well, it certainly doesn't happen very often, so I can't even say it is an expectation, but it sure would be nice if it was a standard in this business. How much easier would our lives be if we didn't get those calls post-close?
How many calls do you get?
I get them.
Oh,
I get
well,
them.
I
get 'em.
don't. I just unsubscribe. I block the agent. No, I'm just kidding.
You get what you get.
You get what
Team
you get.
synergy.
Team synergy.
You bought the house. It's all yours.
Should we take a break?
Please.
Thank God. All right, let's take a break, hear a word from our favorite partners. And when we return, Monica will try to convince me how the house should be.
To think properly. Hey guys, it's Monica here. I am so excited to introduce you to Real Estate Fight Club's newest partnership, Cyberbacker. Cyberbacker is the best in the business for virtual assistants. How do I know this? Because I am a Cyberbacker customer and I love this company. I have my favorite, Frances. She is my Cyberbacker, been with me for over a year. She's amazing. She makes me better. She's eager to help. She's on time. She's disciplined. She's awesome. And this company, Cyberbacker, has figured out the system from the interviewing process to find out what I need, to the interviewing process to interview several Cyberbackers, to the onboarding process, to the training process. Very buttoned up, very awesome. You and I both know it's time for you to leverage. It's time for you to take that step, and Cyberbacker is a really safe, awesome solution. Make sure to mention Fight Club and you will be getting a free gift. All right, do it. Make the call. See ya. All right, welcome back. Let's get back to the battle inside the ring and close out with our final round. Basically, Jen says, when buying a house, you get what you get. I say, why can't we all just get along?
I did not say that. I mean,
I know,
you
I'm
said that thinking
I'm
it was
kidding.
in words of my mouth. Yeah, no, I think broom swept should be the minimum. All your stuff out should be a minimum. Anything beyond that is, I just don't think it's the expectation.
Mm-hmm. What about like leaving like potted plants and like things that you don't think about moving until last minute, and then you're like, fuck it, that won't fit in the U-Haul. So you leave it.
Throw it away.
Throw it out. Don't leave it for them.
I don't think you should leave anything.
I think one of the biggest problems happens when you as the seller say, oh, I think they would like this or they will want this. No, they don't.
They don't
want it.
They don't want it.
No.
They really don't want it. Well, stay tuned too for our tiebreaker and see what they have to say.
Dun, dun, dun. I don't know. They'll probably agree with you on this one because my point of view requires effort. That's what that is.
And everybody's already, anyway. Yes, agreed.
Yeah, right. All right. That's going to have to be the end of today's battle. Where do you guys fall on this? Do you agree with Jen? Like broom swept is good? Or do you agree with me?
Hashtag
like,
Team Martland.
Let's raise our standards a little bit.
Hashtag the wrong way.
Hashtag always the right way. All right. And guys, if you like it, be sure to share it with somebody, or if you've had this discussion with another agent, be sure to copy and share it and subscribe and visit us on all the places.
All the things. YouTube, Instagram, especially Instagram.
Insta, Twitter.
We're not on Twitter.
FaceTube. I'm just kidding.
Oh my God. Monica, I'm muting you.
Okay.
All right. All right. And if you're interested in working with me and Monica, we have some exciting things that are coming up. Just hit us up at 513-400-1691. All right, Monica.
Hey, by the way, that's Jen's direct cell, so you can text her or call her or whatever. Well, you just gave it out.
Actually, yes, you can.
All right.
I love receiving calls.
Yes, you do. Well, from agents that are interested in growing their business and want to like get down after it.
Yeah.
That's what that line is for.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
See you next time.
All right. And I have my tiebreaker here with me today. It is Colleen Kelly from EXP. Hey, Colleen.
Hey, Jen. Thanks for having me today.
Yeah, I'm glad you could be on. So I know you work with a lot of buyers, which is why I wanted to have you on. And so your question is, how should the seller leave the house for the buyer?
Yeah, good question, which I'll tell you, it ultimately comes down, I feel like, to two things. So the golden rule and like clear communication. So
my God, I feel like you're asking way too much.
Well, let me explain. Hold on.
Okay.
Golden rule, what is it? Treat others as you would want to be treated, right? So,
Right.
and that's a general rule of thumb in life, but also when you're selling your house, if you were buying a house, do you want to go into this house with, you were so excited you were under contract, and then come closing day, you have trash and personal belongings everywhere, and then, I don't know, major holes in the wall that weren't there when you walked through the last time, and just things like that, and you're sitting there, and like all of your joy from your new home purchase has been sucked out, right?
Oh, yeah.
And ultimately that's a big thing as an agent. So as a buyer's agent, that's where the second one comes in for me, is clear communication.
Right.
Both sides, both parties should be happy come closing day. It should be a win-win situation.
Right.
And it shouldn't be any major defects in this home. So things like what needs to be taken out. So there should be no personal belongings that are left in the home, unless, with this hot seller's market, maybe you've got under contract because you negotiated with the sellers, hey, you can leave some stuff behind if you please accept our contract. That's something I've used in negotiating.
That's true.
To get under contract. It has helped. But making sure that, I had one specific situation where, God love him, there was a pile of trash, literal trash in the front yard.
Oh, like in the middle of the yard?
Dirty, kitchen bags. It wasn't even left on the curb. It was in the middle of the yard with rotting chicken in it. It was trash. It was just disrespectful. So that one, I just took care of it on my own, because, it is what it is. We can just get rid of it. So it's happy, the buyers are happy. But it's things like that, you don't want to walk into a house and you have rotting garbage on your front lawn, or you have.
When are you doing the walkthrough though?
How or when?
When?
So you should do it 1 to 2 days before closing day. So I like to do it at least around 24 hours beforehand. So that way, if there's any major issues or holes in the walls, they can fix it before closing.
Right.
And that's where the clear communication comes into play. As an agent, I'm advocating for my buyers. I am making sure that I communicate to the seller's agent, hey, this is new when we went through walkthrough. And,
this hole is brand new.
And saying it with tact and making sure nobody gets defensive in the situation. But saying, hey, this is what we saw, and this is our thought process. What can you guys do about this to ensure that this deal goes smoothly and we go to the closing table?
Have you ever had unreasonable buyers? They thought that something was staying or going, and you were like, no, that's not right.
Yes, I have. And it ultimately, again, comes down to clear communication. Once you tell them, I had one specific client, they were asking for this hutch to stay in the house. Personal belonging. It wasn't attached to the wall, wasn't screwed in anywhere, wasn't a built-in. But it was kind of what they loved about the kitchen. It was on the side of the kitchen. And ultimately it's just telling your buyer, hey, this is a personal belonging.
Right.
You didn't get it under contract. This is not something that conveys with the house. And just really, when you put it into those terms, they don't buy houses every day like we do. So just telling them and explaining to them the thought process behind it, it just avoids messy situations come closing day.
It can, assuming they hear you, right?
Assuming they hear me, yes.
That's true. Well, I really appreciate you being on, Colleen. If people have a referral for you, you serve Cincinnati and Dayton, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What is the best way to get a hold of you?
Yeah, you can call, text, email me. My number is 513-374-3706, or ColleenSellsCincy@gmail.com.
Awesome. Thanks, Colleen.
Thanks.